Eugenia Cooney is a mid-20s American YouTuber who loves the gothic and emo subculture, video games, and fashion. She is also dying before our eyes. She started uploading videos on June 17th, 2011, where she started making videos showcasing her fashion, makeup, and general content. She now has amassed almost 1,500,000 subscribers. She also began streaming on YouNow, where she now has 770,000 followers. Upon watching her videos, you will see her upbeat and bubbly personality, as she gushes over her unapologetic love of Nightmare Before Christmas, Disney, and Kingdom Hearts. And you would see her hang out with her mother or grandmother and going out into the world vlogging away.
Hey guys, it's Eugenia. Today I'm doing something really exciting, kind of like what I did the other day.
She is an extremely passionate person and seems to be an overall fun, nice, generally positive person. When she began, she displayed as an extremely slender woman, but as time went on, a disturbing trend appeared. Not only was she extremely small, but she was getting smaller. People began to speculate and ask if she was ill, either mentally or physically, but was met with radio silence on the part of Eugenia. As the years passed, the pounds melted away, leaving an emaciated woman. Many people then jumped onto the conclusion that Eugenia was suffering from the disease of anorexia. Before we go any further, I must impress upon the fact that I am not a medical health professional. You cannot diagnose someone else with a disease properly unless you are their health practitioner. That being said, it is extremely evident that Eugenia is suffering most probably from anorexia. Today's anorexic is one of a long line of women and girls throughout history who have used control of appetite, food, and body as a focus of their symbolic language. Although anorexia nervosa is a relatively modern disease, female fasting is assuredly not a new behavior. In fact, there is a long history of food-refusing behavior and appetite control in women dating back at least to the medieval world. Anorexia isn't just about being thin, it is also about control. If someone's life is spinning wildly out of control, if they can control just one thing, that may give a sense of power that they might otherwise have not had. So, what is anorexia? According to the article Anorexia in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, written by doctors Misra, Shulman, and Weiss, they state, anorexia nervosa, often just called anorexia, is a condition in which a person loses an unhealthy amount of weight on purpose, through dieting, sometimes along with excessive exercise, binging, and/or purging. People with anorexia have a fear of gaining weight and a disturbed body image, such as thinking that they are fat even when they are very underweight. Doctors do not know the exact cause of this eating disorder. The risk factors for anorexia are that people most at risk for anorexia include those who are young, teenage or young adult, and female. They may have a history of being depressed, anxious, or having obsessive-compulsive disorder. Those at risk may have family members with eating disorders, mental illness, or substance abuse. Some personal traits may contribute to anorexia. People at risk may feel they must try and be perfect. They may have poor self-esteem and rigid ways of thinking about food and other issues in their lives. they may feel pressure to be thin. Taking part in certain sports or activities in which they are expected to be thin, such as gymnastics or ballet, could contribute to this feeling. A trend in Eugenia's videos is obscured by her love of fashion and the action of the body check.
Ready to twerk, you guys? Okay, ready, guys? So first you're gonna lean down, and then you just kind of, then you start shaking. So I see, guys, put your hands on your hips, kind of like on. She's pregnant. Come on, guys. Higher.
In her videos, she makes
really
sure
well.
to show off as much of her body as possible, lifting her legs and wearing revealing clothes to show off her body, under the guise of showing off her shoes or clothes. Revealing clothes are not an issue at all, but when you look at all of her videos, it shows this repetitive behavior of almost wanting the validation of her skinny body. She is asking for people to see and react to her body, and she is getting it.
But Eugenia Cooney uploaded this video a few days ago, and I just really want people to send her as much support and love as possible. And I really mean that. I think that's the only thing she needs right
Some
now.
literally document their own slow and painful death.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Eugenia Cooney is a YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers, and she is known for being the very, very skinny girl.
This emphasis on her body seems to be a circular issue. She shows her body and people react, causing her to continue making the content people are tuning in for. The more people comment about Eugenia and her weight, the more her value and public image are entwined with her thinness. So now her entire brand is about her body and what people think of it, either good or bad. This would definitely hamper recovery, because not only is it a part of her, it's her brand. Logically, then, you could say that her getting help and recovering could be a part of her brand, but you could easily see from her perspective how that would be unacceptable. If people tune in because she's thin, then if she's not as thin as she is currently, will they continue to tune in? Will her value and status and position remain the same? One issue is the presence of anorexia on YouTube. Because I am using the word, this video will most likely get demonetized for not being advertiser friendly. However, someone like Eugenia, who is presenting her illness, isn't demonetized, and if anything, promoted due to the surface level of the advertisability present in her content. If you see someone just doing a haul video or a fashion video, on a surface level it is perfectly safe for all audiences. Once you peel back the layers and implications of her videos, then you really see the blatant double standard. YouTube advertisements are a whole different discussion, but it is an interesting point when looking at talking about mental health. Saying the dreaded A word is unacceptable, but presenting the actual problem is almost encouraged. And it's not like people haven't tried. There have been many online petitions with thousands of signatures for YouTube to forcibly remove Eugenia off of YouTube. These efforts have proved to be fruitless. But what is our part of this YouTube equation? Is it our place as YouTubers to even comment and speculate on the bodies and lives of YouTube content creators? Being a YouTube content creator, especially one of Eugenia's caliber, naturally will invite criticism and comments on many aspects of people in their lives. That, however, doesn't include bullying or dismissing their problems. Awareness and concern are wonderful things to come from videos of viewers and fans because it shows community support around an issue and shows a broader audience how communities can come together to support people in their time of need. Ultimately, though, it is useless to make videos saying that she needs to stop or that she needs help because they are falling on deaf ears. After years of people commenting on her body, I don't think that she will have a change of heart because someone on the internet told her to. In her life, there are undoubtedly people who see her dissent and would have tried to get her help. The unfortunate truth is that anorexic behaviors are similar to addict behaviors, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Eugenia is a legal adult and cannot be involuntarily committed to an inpatient facility, even though she is on a path to death. The US system, like many worldwide, are woefully undeveloped with regards to the wide realm of mental health issues. Because Eugenia is engaging in a slower form of self-harm means that in the eyes of the government, she is not an immediate risk, meaning it is extremely hard to force her to get help. If she were threatening to jump off a building, it would be different. It's not right, and it's not ideal, but it is the reality of today's world. Bodily autonomy means that people get to make choices. Does that mean someone who is struggling with mental health is in the right state of mind to make life-altering decisions? That's not my position to say. So what do we do? There is nothing we can do. Eugenia is an adult and will either submit herself to medical services to begin the slow process of making her body accept food again, or she will die. Or she will try and get help, but potentially still tragically pass away due to the immense stress her body is under. Anorexia nervosa has the highest mortality of any psychiatric disorder. It has a prevalence of about 0.3% in young women. It is more than twice as common in teenage girls, with an average age of onset of 15 years. 80 to 90% of patients with anorexia are female. Censorship of Eugenia and her body may not be the answer. According to the article Pro-anorexia, bulimia, Censorship, and Public Service Announcements, The Price of Controlling Women by Nicole, Schott, and Debra Langan states, there has been no research that provides evidence of the effectiveness of PSAs in reducing pro-anorexia self-harm. They then say that digitization now offers new possibilities for community and connection for those who have been constructed as engaging in contemporary self-harming strategies, such as anorexia and bulimic practices. Now, Eugenia's channel isn't a pro-anorexia website or community, but these ideas can be applied to Eugenia. She brings together many people who may look to her as an inspiration and provide a sense of community with other like-minded people. They then state that their research signals the importance of supporting open online discussions around pro-anorexia and related topics that involve women's self-perceptions and practices. Eugenia needs help and deserves our support and attention. It might be too late for Eugenia, but the more we show support and stop passively accepting harmful behavior, the more of a message it sends to people who may be influenced or suffering from issues with food intake. Eating disorders are often misrepresented in our culture, with people throwing around thoughts of just eat a burger or just send her to an institution. The issues are complex and more nuanced than simply eating a burger. We can't glorify the disease, nor can we flippantly disregard the absolute mental hell these people suffering are going through. Getting mad at Eugenia for being a bad influence completely puts the blame on the victim. Overall, I think the situation is dire. But at the same time, if people are talking about an issue, I feel that that is a positive momentum. Whatever happens is going to happen, and anything people on the internet are going to say probably won't change anything. That doesn't mean we shouldn't say it or we're not allowed to say it. It just is an uncomfortable truth. Like I stated previously, I am not a mental health practitioner. If you or anyone you know struggles with disordered eating, please contact www.nationaleatingdisorders.org or your local eating disorder helpline. I really hope that Eugenia is able to overcome these issues and come out triumphant and alive. I will link all my sources down below if you are interested in learning more about the subject, especially because mental health and eating disorders is something that is glossed over a lot in our society or just demonized. So I think any kind of discussion or discourse on the subject is good, and the more people are talking, the more people are listening and learning. Thank you for watching my video. I will link all the sources down below. We don't know what's going to happen in the future with Eugenia, but all we can do is hope for the best.